Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel, or welcome if this is your first time here. My name is Dana. I'm a mama to 4, and on my channel I love sharing just our homeschooling journey as well as simple living, homemaking, and things like that. But if that is something that interests you, I'd love to have you join our family, and you can do so by subscribing down below. Today's video is actually the first video that I am making in 2023, so Happy New Year. I cannot believe that we are already in the new year. I think 2022 was by far kind of like the fastest flying year for some reason for me, and I hear it only gets faster. So for this year, I'm kind of going to be, and I'll share this in an upcoming video, being more intentional with honestly just kind of embracing the moments as they come, because oh my goodness, every single stage goes by so quickly. So my goal, and one of my goals and intentions on just being more present this year, is kind of, just kind of what I'm working on. Anyway, we'll get that to another video. Today, as you can tell in today's video, I'm going to be sharing with you 2 of my favorite actual preschool workbook curriculums. They are 2 of not just my favorite when it comes to the actual academic part and that kind of how they help your child succeed and grow academically, but they're also extremely affordable. So if you are a first-time homeschool mama watching this video and you are kind of getting a feel for preschool curriculums, I don't necessarily believe that preschool curriculums is 100% necessity. However, if you are like me, I actually am learning to really just enjoy that preschool kind of workbook style, only because it helps me be more intentional with my preschooler. Being a mama of 4, having an actual workbook to where I can actually be intentional with my preschooler has really helped me. And I think it's also because my preschooler, like with my firstborn, we did the homegrown preschooler, which is a completely kind of like unschooling method, and I loved that. And then once I started getting him into kindergarten, then my secondborn was getting into preschool, and she just wanted to do what Big Brother wanted to do. So I started getting little workbooks, and I used some of these with her. And so I started introducing her to some of the workbooks, and she loved it, like loved it. So every child is going to be different, but these are my favorite actual workbooks for the preschool ages. They are very gentle, but like I said, being very academically solid and very affordable as well, which is always a win. So if you've been on my channel for a while, you know that last year we made a complete switch to the Christian Light Education, more commonly known as the CLE curriculum. So this is probably going to be no surprise to you that this is one of my favorite preschool curriculums as well, is also from CLE. This is a set of just 4 little workbooks. They're very gentle and very thorough when it comes to actually teaching what those little years need to know. So in the beginning of each one of these little books, they're going to have a little bit of like a note to parent that's going to kind of tell you what the book was designed for and what it is used for. So for the book A, it kind of goes into describing like the activity book for young children, and it was made to provide an introduction and practice in motor skills such as hand-eye coordination and the visual comparison of objects. It also gives some primary exposure to number concepts, which should be an asset to young minds when the time comes to learn these concrete lessons in numbers. And the reason why I wanted to share this set first before my next set, which is also kind of a preschool level, is because the Rod and Staff one is a little bit more advanced. Like it starts out very basic, but it does get pretty advanced to like once you reach the end of the curriculum, you're into like that kindergarten, 1st grade level. So I wanted to share these first because if it is like I said, you are a first-time homeschooling mama and you are wanting to dive into some homeschool curriculum for your little ones, this is a great one. So a good option for this would be to kind of just draw a line. The student is just going to draw a simple line from point A to point B, and then kind of like in the spaces here. And again, just a really good first workbook for those little years, and they're going to move on and do some like crisscrosses, and again, same concept. They're going to try to find the thing that's different and then cross that out. So it's just a really sweet, and again, they're learning how to trace the line, which is also really important to develop those fine and gross motor skills to prepare them for writing later on. So it's just a really sweet book. This is not one of those like bright and colorful workbooks. It really is just like an open and go straight to the point. You're practicing the skills and things like that. And my little ones have absolutely loved this curriculum when they have done it. And then by the time you get to the end of the first one here, you're doing like crisscross lines and like drawing all kinds of the things. So just overall a really sweet book. So the next one in this series is Bigger Steps, and this is more of an activity book for 4 years old and up, I should say. But it's going to start out similar to the first one did, when you're just kind of like following the lines, tracing the lines. On this one, you're going to be tracing like the circles, bubbles, and actually learning the different shapes, tracing the shapes and things like that. And then after bigger steps, you're going to go into the color count and cut one, this one right here. And this is another activity book specifically designed for 4-year-olds. And you're going to be learning all the different colors. You're going to be, this one is mostly like obviously the color focused, but you're going to be cutting a lot of things out, so working on those fine and gross motor skills as well. And then by the time you get to the last one, which is Doing My Best, this is the one that's officially called the actual preschool activity book. You're going to be matching clocks, just matching pictures. At this point, you're going to be also learning how to form and draw numbers by tracing them, just number recognition and things like that from like 1 through 10 and everything like that. So learning how to do a table setting, just a really, really fun and simple and super sweet curriculum. I loved using this with both of my littles as far as an actual formal workbook goes, but you can get the entire like early learning curriculum set, all 4 books for $10. So I think that is great. It's hard to beat, and honestly with the price of ink right now, it's like a great affordable option. Again, especially if you're looking for something new, if you're a new homeschooler. So this curriculum right here, let me see if I can hold it up because there's a lot of different books in this one, is another one of my all-time favorite curriculums. I love the character, I love the biblical values that they instill in your little ones, and they really encourage you as a parent to do that with your little ones. So I'm going to give you a little bit of a rundown of how these work. Again, this is going to start out in the preschool level. This is the Adventures with Books one. And in the back of every single book, you're going to have a little section that's called Instructions for Parents. I love this because even though it is a basic book, it's really going to help you use this book to actually really achieve the educational goals. So I really like the Instructions for Parents part here where it says Parents' Priceless Privilege. And that is the little child that's by your side is placing trust in you. He wants to watch just what you do, and then he'll try it too. His little hand is placed in yours to lead him in the way. His voice is waiting now for you to help him sing and pray. His little mind is seeking truth, so teach him while he's small. God gave this precious child to you. He'll give you grace for all. So it is very, again, biblically based. It's really helping you as a parent really just bring your child along with you. You're learning together, you're growing together. And at the bottom of every single page, and again, this is the very basic preschool one, it's going to have like in the bottom here little notes or instructions from the teacher, which I really, really like. So for this entire curriculum, you're not having to actually buy a separate teacher guide. Everything is included. And all of these books, like all the ones back here, plus this included, there's 7 altogether, and it's under $20. So again, it's a great value, and there's just so many activities. Definitely worth the price, but it's not a high price. So yeah, there's again, very beginning basic. You're learning a lot of coloring. There's definitely a lot more activities. You're learning like the cutting and pasting, make little farm animals that stand, really fun things. And once you get, I will be honest, once you get to the end of the first like adventure with books, you're going to go into the second one. And these can honestly just be a standalone product, the Bible pictures to color and Bible stories to read, because you're going to go to like the first chapter in the Bible stories to read, do the actual devotional, sing a song, and then you're going to like be answering questions and things like that. And then there's a corresponding picture for the actual student to color. So it really is a combination where you read the Bible story, the student will color the picture, and they are honestly really great when they are used together. But again, this can be a standalone thing. It's not necessarily having to be part of the curriculum, but you can do this kind of apart from it if you're just looking for a preschool Bible type thing. So the third one in the series is Counting with Numbers. And again, you're going to be doing your number recognition. You have all kinds of like your matching numbers, your counting. This is when I was saying that after really the first one, once you get to Counting with Numbers, you're almost really in that kindergarten level. So that's Counting with Numbers, really working on number recognition, things like that. So the Do It Carefully one, this is when you're going to be introduced to a lot more of the actual like handwriting concepts. So you're going to be introduced to letter sounds, actual forming letters, again, a lot of nature and kind of like animal inspired things. So if you're new to my channel, my kiddos love the all things animal things, and all of these books, especially any type of like CLE curriculum or Ron Staff curriculum, most of their content has to do with either character building or animals. 2 things of which I love when a curriculum has, especially since my kiddos love animals and things like that. And so I love that these curriculums do a very good job in instilling those character traits while also having all the fun animals and nature, things like that, which my kids love. The next one in the series is Everywhere We Go. And at this point, they are going to know like the entire alphabet and like how to form the letters. They're gonna know all of the colors and numbers and everything like that. And this one, they're really gonna be practicing like a lot of different handwriting, a lot of different shapes, a lot of forming the letters. So yeah, they will have known how to write the entire alphabet by the time they get to this one. And the last one is finding the answers. And then this one, you again are gonna be learning a lot of the colors, shapes, numbers, writing beginning sounds, your cutting, your counting, your basic math concepts, just a lot of the beginning concepts that they are going to need before they officially hit that first grade level. So if your kiddos are in the early ages, then I highly recommend those first 4 books that I showed you, because they're so simple and so basic, yet they're so much fun as well, and they do just an excellent job on building on each skill set. And a lot of books that I've noticed will have like they'll build on the skill sets too soon, to where you don't have time to master one thing before they go on to the next, or vice versa, where it's just all straight up one thing and you're not really building, like there's no building blocks to it. So I found that with these 2 curriculums, they do it very nicely when it comes to actually building upon each other, building new skill sets and everything like that, which I really love and appreciate as a homeschooling mama, and I know like you will too. So those are the top 2 workbook type curriculums that I love. Again, if you are wanting a more on-schooling approach, I highly recommend the Homegrown Preschooler. I will have that link down below if you do want to check it out. I did a video on it. It's been almost 2 years now, so I do need to do an updated kind of video on it, because I love the concept behind it, and I just love everything about the curriculum, again, for that more on-schooling approach. And it's great, fantastic for the little years too. So there's a lot of different options when it comes to curriculum, but like I said, these are my 2 favorite actual workbook style things, and I've seen my kiddos really succeed in anything really from CLE, especially the past year. I have a kindergartner who completed both the kindergarten 1 and 2 from CLE. She loved it, did great, and I noticed for her it gave her such a big boost going into the language arts from the good and the beautiful, the level K, because it just laid a really solid foundation. And my first grader did not do CLE before going into his first grade, so he struggled a little bit jumping into the good and the beautiful because of the grade difference. So I highly recommend it, only because I have actually seen from my first 2 kiddos here, or my first 2 school age kiddos, that it actually has done a very good job in preparing them for that next step in the next grade. So anyway, I'm going to go ahead and end the video here. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I'm going to be sharing with you in my next video kind of the reasoning behind why we even homeschool to begin with, and I'm going to be doing that as a collaboration with a whole bunch of other mamas also sharing why they homeschool as well. But until then, I hope you guys have a great day, whatever you're doing, and God bless. Bye.